What's going on, guys? Matt Downs with TRICKEDTINS here, and today I've got a little side project I'm doing. I'm just gonna fix this boat up. It's got a couple of things that need to be repaired. We're gonna add in a couple little things in the back. Let me show you what we got. Okay, so this boat is actually a 1548 Weldbilt. It's the same exact size hull as the King Neptune build. The only difference is this hull has the square front on it. What we're gonna be doing now is a couple repairs. This back deck here is all original. Everything in here is original from Backwoods Landing or fabricated by Weldbilt. This hatch, the guy who fishes back here is a pretty big dude, so he's been staying on this thing for a while now, and it's just starting to fall apart. I mean, this whole piece is split in the corner of the seam. So you can see you got some good cracks here. Same thing on the back side. It's split on all four sides of this. You can see daylight through there. It's supposed to have a weld in there. So we're gonna repair both sides of that, add some extra structure up underneath from inside. Probably shoot some rivets down through here to help support it, make sure it's strong. And then we're going to build a back deck. It's basically going to enclose where his gas tank is back here. It's gonna have a platform on either side, and in the center will be one door that opens up. Another thing we're gonna have to clean up is all this hoses right here. They were ran like this originally, so we're gonna clean all this stuff up, try to hide as much of it under the deck as possible. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the whole back deck framed in. I used 1.5 by 1.5 by 1/8 angle for this build, just because the guy who's fishing in the back of this boat is a pretty big dude, and I want to make sure it's strong enough for him. As you just saw, I cut out these sheets here. These are 0.125 aluminum on my shear. Just one side. Here's the other one. I may have to tweak this one a little bit, but it fits in here pretty good. In between these will be a pan lid, which I bent up right here. I'm gonna weld that up, throw a stiffener across the middle and a handle in it, put that in. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these channels right here, so 2-inch aluminum channel. I'm basically gonna put one here and one here. The only thing is they're going to run underneath of this bench, and I'm going to drill holes through the top of this. I'm going to put a straight line right down the center of this channel. So when I drill that hole, I'm going to hold that piece up underneath of it till I can see that line, drill all the way through this bench, through this piece of channel, and shoot a rivet through it. Probably 3, maybe 4 into each one of these on either side. That's going to stiffen up this back bench immensely and make it very strong. Alright guys, so this transducer that's on here is mounted straight to the hull, and it's only attached with some self-tapping screws. As you can see, it's pretty loose. It's got a bunch of marine caulk and stuff in here. 5200 is supposed to hold it in, but there's a possibility that I might have walked past this huge transducer and bumped it and knocked it off. I don't remember if I did, but since it's here, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to weld one of these little blocks on here. This is a 1x3 1/8 inch aluminum square or rectangular tubing. I'm going to weld it right where this was at. First, I'm going to weld the 2 holes up that the screws are in. I'm going to weld this up there. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to hold this piece or any other transducer that you want to mount on here without putting a hole through the actual hull of the boat. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do on this boat is support this front foot pedal recess tray right here. I sold this customer this recess foot pedal tray, I don't know, 6 months ago. It's a shallow tray for the Minn Kota Tarova, And what he did when he put it in was he cut it out and he dropped it in and screwed it in. What he didn't do was support this deck from the bottom side down to the ribs. So it's a little spongy on this side. It's hard to tell in the video. The other side is not as bad, but it's going to get worse and is not going to get better until it's fixed. So we're going to fix this up right now. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Alright, so as you can see, I put a 1x1 1/8 angle. It's about 2 foot long. I spanned both of the hat section original bracing that was cut in half, and I welded it to it. You can also shoot rivets in it. I shot a rivet in each of these just to hold it temporarily. And then I just took a piece of 1x1 1/8 square tubing, cut it the right height, put it down to the floor rib, weld it to the floor rib, weld it to that angle. Same thing on both sides. This front deck is super sturdy now. Alright, so this back deck is completed. We have repaired this existing hatch in the back bench and added this hatch, the house of gas tank, and all its pumps and everything. It's turned out really slick. It'll be really nice once it gets the turf on it and some paint.